People. We are back. We are back. We literally cannot escape Drake and Kendrick. This dude Drake, he took an L because he bet on the Blue Jays winning. The man was at the game. They lost. I don't like the Dodgers. I didn't want it to be LA versus Toronto. I didn't want it to be America versus Canada. But here we are. People made it into a narrative. This man Drake went to the game. They lost. The Blue Jays suck. Canada took another L. Drake took another L because he was there and he bet on it. The Dodgers won. Fuck the Dodgers. I don't know how many times I gotta say that. Fuck the Dodgers because they're like the West Coast Yankees. Anyways, we're not talking about baseball. Let's talk about Drake, man. This dude Drake is taking L after L after L. And I'm like, bro, how many L's you gonna take until you realize, hey, maybe I should have done what I said months ago, last year, and sit my dumb ass down and just make fucking music. But no, niggas don't want to listen, man. Niggas want to sue, and now we're back here. So guess what? Drake is being sued again, chat. Drake is being sued again. The consequences of your actions. You sue, you lose, you want to appeal, so you want to take another L on top of it. And now niggas are suing you or citing you in these cases, bro. You can't make this shit up, bro. You can't make this shit up. Niggas naming you in suits, bro. You're getting actually sued because of the gambling stuff, and now you're being named as one of the main players in the suit. And we gonna talk about it because this one is very interesting. And like I said, the doors are opening because of the consequences of your actions. The doors are opening, but this one is very important because niggas have been talking about Spotify and these streams for the longest time. So let's get into it. Just in case if you didn't know, today Rolling Stone put out an article, and we are going to go through it a little bit. We're going to talk about it. Again, I want to preface this because, again, this is kind of clickbaity, but Drake is being named in this suit, okay? So this article comes out by Rolling Stone, and it says, lawsuit against Spotify. So I want to make that clear. Spotify is the actual party that is being sued here. But let's rewind, because if you remember, when Drake originally sued UMG, he named a lot of people. Spotify was one of them. And just in case you forgot, Spotify was one of the entities that was in that original suit. Now they ended up getting thrown to the side, but now we gotta reel them back in. Spotify, apparently you have been up to some bull, and all artists have known about this, had some inklings, couldn't exactly prove it, but there have been some cases where we have seen actual botting when it comes to these streams. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, yo. Let's talk about it. So, a new class action lawsuit has been placed against Spotify, and the main plaintiff here is a person named RBX. Now, some of the people, especially people on the West Coast, know AB. He's in the chat. Shout out to AB. He knows exactly who RBX is. I know of RBX because he has contributed to a lot of Dr. Dre tracks. He was actually on the Eminem song, which I remember. I like thought about it. I was like, man, because I didn't know who that was, but like I remember that verse of the Eminem song, "Remember Me." But RBX is actually the cousin of Snoop Dogg, which I was today years old when I actually found that out. But I am familiar with RBX. So RBX is the main plaintiff here in this case, okay? And he filed this suit in California, of course. He filed this suit in California, and they are alleging that Spotify has turned a blind eye to mass-scale fraudulent streaming on the platform. Oh my goodness. Who was surprised, actually? That's what I want to know. This is another who is surprised type of situation, that there is some potential, because this is all alleged right now, but there is some potential foolery going on with Spotify in these streams. This is why I said for the longest, do not trust numbers. Now, all the Drake bots, all the Drake stands, they were saying this, it was like, oh, how could you get all these streams, blah, blah, and that was the main, thing that Drake was alleging in his suit, right? And then everybody started getting all the K-bots, bots, bots, bots. That's how the K-bot stuff started, right? K-bots. It said that all the Kendrick fans were bots and they were just pumping up the streams. Well, guess what? Now the tables are turning. Now you got to look in the mirror because niggas said that you were the main beneficiary for this. And this is what we said since the beginning. If you want to open those doors up and you wanted to get all this discovery against UMG warned your dumb ass and they told you, hey, you sure you want to go that route because you benefited from anything that we did. And that allegedly is also including fake streams. Oh my goodness. Wow. I need some more memes, man. I need some more memes, but man, Drake gonna be saying this in a minute.
Help me, nigga.
Like, cause this man about to be spending a lot more money, man. He about to be spending a lot more money if some of these things stick. And he ends up being part of it. But this one right here, again, we're gonna keep prefacing this. This particular lawsuit is against Spotify. Now the gambling stuff, he actually got named, man. The gambling stuff is a different thing. Even though that one was mainly dealing with stake. But you were one of the people who they said, we'll get to that in a second, because we ain't get to talk about that when that happened last week. But let's continue here. Let's continue here because I'm kind of rambling on. So one musician in particular, the lawsuit claims has been the main beneficiary of billions. I say that with the B, billions of fake streams, Drake. So to continue here, the most eye-popping allegation in the suit relate to Drake's streaming numbers. There are no specific accusations of wrongdoing against the Nokia rapper, so they wanted to make that clear. Only Spotify named it a defendant. So this, again, same situation as Drake versus UMG. Kendrick was named multiple times in the suit, but he was not one of the people directly sued. So it's the same situation, but now Drake is, obviously the biggest person, and he's saying that he is the biggest beneficiary of these fake streams. So therefore, he is the main person who is named in this suit, not being sued directly, but named, one of the main people who is named. So they are saying, continuing on, every month under Spotify's watchful eye, billions of fraudulent streams are generated from fake, illegitimate, and or illegal methods like bots. The lawsuit states such mass-scale streaming fraud, it continues, causes massive financial harm to legitimate artists, songwriters, producers, and other rights holders. Again, we have been saying for the longest, what is a stream worth? Now, eventually, you get a whole bunch of streams, then you can really make some money. But, we're talking, we still don't know. There's no real scale, like one stream equals this. But from what we do know, from people who have been doing some, alleged number crunching, like streams are like they're not a cent. They're not even a cent. They're like a fraction of a cent, bro. Literally a fraction of a cent from what people have gathered, right? So again, you're not really making anything from stream. That's not how artists make their money. So just in case you thought so, that's not how you make your money. Obviously, a lot of streams, you end up getting a lot of plays. Eventually, you will make a little bit of bread. But as an artist, you're not making your bread from streaming. You're making your money mainly for touring, for merch, and doing other ventures. That's why you see a lot of rappers and other artists doing other things, because you're making literal cents, not fractions of a cent by streaming. So continuing on, it says here, streaming royalties are paid out through a stream share model, which just I remember when they introduced this. The theory was that artists who don't have as many streams can get a better chance to get paid, but that hasn't really been the case. So continuing on, the stream share model says that subscription and ad dollars are put into a giant pool, right? With the money being divvied up based on each artist's share of the total streams. Most of that money already flows upstream to the most successful artists. So that's why Drake is being named, and biggest rights holders. In this type of share pool model, fake streams hurt other artists whose shares aren't inflated. So let's say again, you going about this legit. You have organic streams, people want to listen to you, but then you have someone else over here, again, allegedly, getting these botted streams, and they're getting millions upon millions of streams per month. They're going to get more money, and because they're cheating the system, that stuff isn't legit, right? they could realistically be getting, I don't know, let's say instead of 1 million streams per month, they realistically will be getting 100,000. Let's just say that for a number, right? And you're doing this legit. You're an up and coming artist. You're trying to make it, and you know, barely crack like 10K a month, right? You know, because they bought it their way to millions of streams, they're going to make more money, and you're not going to really make anything. And you're trying to go through this legit. And again, it's not fair. It's not fair, but you know, allegedly this is what's happening here. And again, it's hurting the artists who are legit trying to make it, you know, in an organic way. They're trying to get their music out. They want people to listen to it. So to continue here, it said we cannot comment on the pending litigation. However, Spotify in no way benefits from the industry-wide challenges of artificial streaming. Now, this is the quote from Spotify, which is just utterly hilarious. They came out immediately like that. Wait a minute. They say, wait a minute. If this is happening, we're not benefiting from it. We're not getting money. And I'm like, yeah, who believes y'all, right? Who truly believes y'all? Like, I think that y'all are definitely turning a blind eye. I think that y'all know about this. I think that y'all participated in it, as a matter of fact. I'll go even further. I don't think that other people are doing this and y'all are turning a blind eye. I think that y'all are actively participating in this too. But again, that's alleged. So we will move on. They said here, continuing on, we heavily invest in always improving best-in-class systems to combat it and safeguard artist payouts with strong protections like removing fake streams, withholding royalties, and charging penalties. I would love to know someone else like who they pointed out, because we'll get further on here with somebody who actually did get caught. But I would like to see some more people pointed out who they allegedly caught and, you know, withheld royalties from and charged penalties to. So here they said their systems are working. In a case from last year, they did catch one person. One bad actor was indicted for stealing $10 million from streaming services. Hey, man, he almost made off like a bandit. Almost made off like a bandit. Again, 10 million off of streaming services. That's a pretty penny, man. They said only $60,000 came from Spotify, proving how effective we are at limiting the impact of artificial streaming on our platform. So that was the response from Spotify, okay? While the lawsuit suggests the use of bots is widespread on Spotify, the only example it cites pertains to Drake. Now, this is what the lawsuit has here, okay? It claims voluminous information for Spotify knows or should know prove that a substantial non-trivial percentage of Drake's approximately 37 billion streams, bro, that's a lot, 37 billion streams, were inauthentic and appears to be the work of a sprawling network of bot accounts. Like, this is crazy, right? Because again, all last year going into this year, they're still going. Not only is Drake most likely going to catch another L here, but all of the fans are going to catch another L, because how dare y'all claim all this time, bro, that there were bots that were pumping up Kendrick streams, but now they're saying, hey, you did it, or you did it too. Because I do believe that there probably was some foul play going on with Kendrick too. But if we want to, you know, single out Not Like Us, a lot of that stuff was organic, and you could see it, bro. You can tell that was the culture working. And that's what I continue to tell people. Okay, so what if for some reason UMG did pump up the song, right? You could still see the organic nature of that song, not only from the people on YouTube that were reacting to it, but the people in the streets, bro. That song went worldwide, and people did not care that it was a diss track, bro. It was a bop, and that's how you can catch that organically. Yeah, it may have got pumped up, maybe on the streaming platform, maybe it got pumped up a little bit as far as marketing and advertisement, but you can see people make countless videos dancing to it. Your grandma was dancing to it, singing the song, and they didn't even know what the hell they were talking about. They probably never heard a Kendrick song in their life, bro. It had remixes. People were singing at this at weddings. I seen kids at a freaking bar mitzvah. Like, we seen so many videos of Not Like Us, and people just dancing to it and having a good time, not caring that it was a diss track. I've been saying that song was out of here, but it was out of here organically. So again, if there was any foul play, it was inevitable anyways. It was going to be inevitable that that song ended up getting to where it got to. So all that bot stuff, it didn't even matter, even if somebody did do something in the background. But now again, it's coming back on y'all. What up, Big Worm? Now it's coming back on y'all because they're saying that Drake streams are inauthentic and illegitimate. To continue here, the allegedly fraudulent activity took place between January 2022 and September 2025. So let's see. Drake albums in order by year. Let's see what projects came out between 2022 and 2025. So, let's see. Honestly, Nevermind was 2022. Her Loss, For All the Dogs, the Scary Hours edition as well. 100 gigs, you want to count that. Iceman didn't come out yet. And some Sexy Songs for You, okay? I mean, it may have been, potentially some foul play there, but I don't think I think this was more organic. But these albums here, Her Loss, Honestly Nevermind, For All the Dogs, could have been some foul play here. Okay? So that's where they're alleging. Anything before that is not at least cited here. It, allegedly it could have been some foul play even before then. But they're saying that it was at least in this 3-year time period, okay? In the 3-year time period, so starting from Honestly Nevermind and going on up till today. It said, can they play it from machine? They're really big. I know, bro. You literally can count the lyric, bro. You can't make this stuff up. So to continue here, it said it claimed that examinations of Drake streams revealed abnormal VPN usage. So again, alleged bot formed from who knows where, bro. Like I said, it had obscured the location on the bot account streaming Drake songs. For instance, the lawsuit claimed that over a 4-day period in 2024, at least 250,000 streams of the song No Face. Okay, y'all remember that song No Face? That was during the 100 gigs period. They said originated in Turkey, bro. What's going on in Turkey, dog? Y'all got on worldwide in these bot forums, bro, where people don't even live at. They on the outskirts of these countries, setting up these bot farms, bro. That's why it goes back to what TVS keep telling you, bro. Stop arguing with these people on X, bro. Because most likely they're bots, bro. It's like 70% bots still. It's getting ridiculous, man. Like, you can't even tell now, bro. Everybody's a bot, bro. It's sad. To continue, said they were falsely geomapped through the coordinated use of VPNs to the UK. So they said that they were in Turkey. But they had a VPN and they tried to reroute to the UK, bro. So you're never surprised when these big artists get exposed for botting. They always try to expose others like they claim. Yeah, it's literally the same situation. We talked about it before with botting on streaming. They're like, oh man, do you think people like Kai and SUC and all these other people like that all those people are truly watching their streams? They said they've been botting for years, man. It's the same stuff. Like the streamers, allegedly have done it, and the artists, musical artists, and doing it too, man. Everybody participating in foul play, man. It's nasty out here. The lawsuit also alleged that a large percentage of accounts streaming Drake's music were geographically concentrated around areas whose populations could not support such a high volume of streams. Again, where people do not actually live. No exact places or numbers were given, though the suit claimed that some streams reported originated in areas with 0 residential addresses. Wow, man, wow. The lawsuit also cited significant and irregular uptick months for Drake's songs long after they've been released, as well as slower and less dramatic decay rates for Drake's music compared to some of his contemporaries. So, in layman's terms, anytime that you stream an album, say an album just came out, you're streaming it the whole day, or you find a couple songs that you like, you'll stream it, and then like the next week somebody else will come out, so then you'll stream that album or that song less naturally, unless like you really like it. But chances are, if you go and listen to something else the next week, then you're going to listen to that album or that song more that week. So again, there's going to be a decay on the previous song or album that you were listening to the last week. So they're saying that some of Drake's songs during that period did not see this type of decay, which means that they're alleging that some foul play was going on, because naturally there is supposed to be a decay, and what they're seeing doesn't look right. What they're seeing doesn't look right for the decay rate in some of these songs. They say decay. Well, they already said it. Decay rate refers to a typical streaming pattern where plays of an album or song naturally dwindle in the weeks and months after release. The lawsuit further claimed that the number of streams of Drake's music attributable to individual accounts is staggering and irregular, with a massive amount of accounts listening to Drake's music, doing so 23 hours a day. 23 hours a day. So the bots don't sleep, bro. The computer don't sleep. Computer don't sleep, bro. There's no way that one actual human or any actual human can stream one song or one album 23 hours a day, bro. It's ridiculous. 23 hours a day. You're literally leaving your devices on streaming one song. You know, the funny thing is actually seeing humans, which again, I can't even tell at this point whether they are humans. I'm gonna just start calling everybody a bot. But I did see, and it wasn't just for Drake. I've seen it with other artists too. I think people try to do it with Chris Brown. People try to do it with Justin Bieber. But you had actual like fan cliques or whatever, fan groups. I know that was an actual word for this, but whatever. But you know, stands or whatever, they got together and they were like, hey, we want to get this album to #1. So, you know, let's stream it, you know, as many times as you can, stream it on multiple platforms, buy the song or buy the album on multiple platforms. And I seen this recently happening with Drake when some Sexy Song for You came out. They were trying that crap because they wanted to get to #1 or saying it. So you have actual humans trying to do this, and then you have alleged bots trying to, you know, actually doing it. So it's just like, what? They're actually trying to be a bot. Like you're legit trying to be a bot, like trying to set that up, bro. It's ridiculous. To continue here, as a result, the complaint claims Drake's music accumulates far higher total streams compared to other highly streamed artists, even though those artists have far more users than Drake. So again, they're claiming all these records that Drake was allegedly breaking, you know, being one of the most streamed artists, not only on Spotify, but period, is all fraudulent. So again, all this big number talk, they're saying, hey, that stuff is fake, bro. All this big number talk, they're saying it's fake. Crazy. The lawsuit does not state how the plaintiffs or their lawyers obtained this data, nor does it shed any light on how the analysis of Drake's streaming numbers was conducted. I would love to know how, though. I would love to know how they got this. The alleged fraudulent stream generated significant revenues for Drake and his company Frozen Moments at the expense of other artists, the lawsuit claims. But it also says that Spotify deliberately turns a blind eye to fraudulent streaming for his own benefit, of course, because if these bots are contributing to all of these streams for Drake, then again, you're getting a kickback for it. So, I mean, that's just simple numbers, simple math, quick maths. While Spotify has taken steps in recent years to combat and tamp down the streaming fraud, the lawsuit casts doubt on the efficacy of these measures, and Spotify's own incentives to stop fraud. They don't really care about it. I can already tell you, if all this is true, they don't really care about it because they're getting money regardless. It's the same thing with Twitch. You know, all these people they're allegedly botting, all the people at the top 5%. If they're also doing it, you know, their Twitch is turning a blind eye to it too. So. Again, it's all, bro. like all this stuff is messed up, bro. All this stuff is messed up. It suggests that Spotify is particularly vulnerable to bots on the platform's ad-supported free tier because a myriad of accounts can be generated without handing over a credit card number. Is Spotify the only out of the big three? Because I know Apple Music you can't listen to for free. They don't have ads. Is Spotify the only of the big streaming platform, the only one that has a free tier? Does anybody even still use Tidal? I don't know if you want to know, does anybody use Tidal? Because now Apple Music has the lossless hi-fi. Now I think Spotify now has it too. Does anybody listen to anything on Tidal? So I think Spotify might be the only one. Does Amazon Music have a free tier? Let me see. Oh, is Amazon? Okay, so Amazon Music has one, but nobody listens to stuff on Amazon Music. Do y'all listen to Amazon Music? I know YouTube doesn't have a free one. I mean, they have the YouTube Music, but I think you gotta pay for that, right? I mean, you can listen to it. I mean, YouTube Music, I guess, yeah. But out of the big ones, yeah. I think about the find the main one. Use Tidal for a bit. As I don't know. Tidal technically has one, but again, it's crap. Like, you can't really do anything on there. So, yeah, I mean, it's really just Spotify, Apple Music, and then like if you want to go outside of that, but not really anybody uses anything else. So, outside of again Tidal for a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, Spotify is like the main one. Cause like, I mean, Pandora, you want to count Pandora? I don't know. So, anyways. So that's interesting because yeah, I mean, you don't need a credit card, you don't need to sign up in order to listen to anything on Spotify. So yeah, you know, all the bots could allegedly use a free version, go through the ads, and just continue to listen to the same song or album multiple times. So yeah. So to continue here, by allegedly allowing bots to run rampant, Spotify can present high stream and user activity numbers to potential advertisers. For Spotify, more users in music streaming means more advertising dollars. Yeah, they're getting ad dollars too. Because I pay for Spotify, so I don't listen to ads. But for the free version, you do have to listen to ads. So yeah, you know, if you have 10,000 bots listening to one song or album on the free version, then you're getting a lot of ad revenue because all the ads are playing. Only time you check out Amazon when they rip the physical albums, you get okay. Ooh, man. Says Spotify also loses money in the form of royalty payouts whenever fraudulently streaming occurs. So, I mean, it could. I mean, if that's the case, then it could be also. But I wonder, like, what's that hit that they will be taking? What will be that hit that they will be taking there? Artists across the streaming industry need accurate reporting of streams and effective fraud detection to ensure fair compensation. When streams are artificially inflated on a large scale, as my client lawsuit alleges that happens with respect to streams of Drake's music, it affects the income of countless songwriters, performers, and producers. This came from this quote from Mark Pifko, one of the lawyers with Barron and Bud, who filed the lawsuit on behalf of RBX, man. The lawsuit seeks to address these broader issues, recoup losses for affected musicians, and make the streaming ecosystem as fair and transparent as possible for anyone involved. So again, man, like if this goes further, because it's a class action lawsuit, if this goes further and let's say there's, I don't know if a settle would do. I mean, I guess it's maybe not, but let's just say RBX wins, right? Let's say RBX wins. Then in theory, all of these artists that were affected by this should be getting a little bit of money. It's not going to come directly from Drake. Obviously, it's going to come from Spotify. Spotify going to have to pay up. It's going to be interesting. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh, yeah. So this one, they caught this dude. I'm going to read this one real quick. It said a Danish man was convicted last year, and I missed this one. While another individual was arrested in Brazil back in March. So they caught like 2 people recently. So over the summer, officials in Turkey. So again, Turkey, what's going on in Turkey, bro? So you gonna get a check? I know, man. Hey, man, I'm all for you, bro. I'm all for you getting a check. Get paid, bro. Said the lawsuit says that some allegedly fraudulent Drake streams originated. It's crazy, bro. It started investigating. So what's going on in Turkey, y'all, man? Y'all got all the bar forms over there, apparently. Spotify over several allegations, include bribes for playlist placement and bot streams distorting domestic charts. Crazy. And then this other dude in North Carolina, this was the dude they would mentioned before, Michael Smith. Michael Smith was the one who got caught using AI to generate hundreds of thousands of songs, which he then allegedly streamed with bots. So you created songs using AI, and then you use bots to stream those songs. They said the feds claimed that at one point he had as many as 10,000 active bot accounts streaming to me. Now, this is a real account, y'all. So again, if this one person can figure out with AI how to create hundreds of thousands of songs, flood the system, and then use up to 10,000 or more bots to stream the music, then do you really think that this lawsuit against Spotify is has no merit to it? I'm just saying, it's something to think about. It's something to think about. And they said this person made over $10 million, bro. This man legit was committing fraud, bro, trying to finesse the system, and got over 10 million for it, bro. And then ended up getting caught. But that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. So that's pretty much it. It's nothing really new. They said they were trying to get 5 million on this lawsuit. They're trying to get 5 million. So we'll see, man. We'll see. But this is big. Again, man. I don't know if this is, because that's what they were claiming at first. Like, Drake's a martyr. Drake's gonna be a martyr. Yeah, and I'm like, y'all dumbasses. Y'all think that Drake is intentionally trying to lose these cases? I don't think so. I don't think Drake and his team are that smart. That they're like, hey, we're going to intentionally lose just so Spotify and UMG can get caught. Nah, that ain't the way it's going to work. Because at the end of the day, UMG and Spotify in this case, let's say they lose this case, they going to pay up and they going to keep doing what they were doing. They're going to keep doing what they were doing. And that's the unfortunate reality of it. If UMG somehow lost that case, they would continue doing what they're doing. Nothing changes. And that's the crazy thing about it. It's like, hey, we got justice, but justice for whom? That's what I always wonder. Justice for whom? In this particular case, yeah, the artist will get paid, but do you think it'll actually stop the fraudulent activity? I don't think so. They're just going to find another way around the system. If not Spotify themselves, then again, the other powers that be. So that's the unfortunate thing about it. But adding on to that, because this case again was not about Drake. Drake wasn't getting sued, but he was the main person who got mentioned in this case, in this suit. But this one I forgot to talk about because again, we ain't stream. But Drake and Adin Ross, since they got accused of deceptive online gambling practices in New Mexico. The original one that I saw was actually in Missouri. This man was getting sued in Missouri. So now there's two separate states that are suing Drake and Adin Ross and Stake. So now my man's, while trying to get this appeal going, is getting actually sued for one and getting named in another. Can't make this stuff up, bro. Cannot make this stuff up. So this one, just in case you didn't catch, when did this one? This was on Friday. Actually, it was on Halloween. Two Mexico residents, two extra residents are accusing Drake, Adin Ross, and Sweepstakes Limited, parent company of the online gambling platform Stake, of deceptive business practices in a class action complaint filed just days after a Missouri man brought forth a similar claim, which is what I mentioned before. In court documents, Nathaniel Torres and Rory Mishi claim that they have lost money gambling within the past year through Stake. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Even though, like, I'm gonna read this case, and I think that gambling overall has gotten easier and way more addicting, because now so many people can literally just gamble from their phone instead of having to go to Vegas or Atlantic City or find like a underground bookie or something. It's still your fault, bro. It's still your fault at the end of the day. You said that you lost money because of somebody else. How that sound, bro? So you take no accountability, but yet you're going to sue an influencer in the company saying, hey, I lost money because of y'all. That stuff is stupid to me. If I lost money gambling, it's my own fault. Okay? It's my own fault. And there's no way around it, bro. Unless somebody put a gun to your head and told you to bet the under on Derrick Henry getting 100 yards in this game, it's your fucking fault. How you gonna blame somebody else? But anyway, let's continue to read this one. They said that the suit alleged that Stake claims to be a social casino, but openly violates New Mexico's state gambling and consumer protection law. Now, this part, again, once you start getting into the thick of things, yeah, Stake is like, they found a way to get around the system. So that's what at least the Missouri claim stated, and I'm pretty sure the New Mexico claim, as we continue to read, is going to echo those sentiments. But at the end of the day, yo dumbass got on Stake, and I can only guess, who influenced you to get on Stake and start gambling. New Mexico said any form of online gambling is illegal. Any form is illegal. The New Mexico complaints Use the same description as the Missouri, which I said. I didn't even have to read it. See, I already do. It's the same, using the same verbiage. To hide the true nature of its online gambling operation, Stake asserts that only chips it sells to consumers are tokens called gold coins, and which can only be used for casual gameplay on the platform, have no real world value, and can never be cashed out. This is again how Stake is trying to get around the system in the US. They say, however, Stake bundles every purchase of gold coin with a second type of token called Stake Cash, which is supposedly a free bonus. Unlike gold coins, Stake Cash can be wagered on casino games and cash out for real money at a fixed 1-to-1 ratio to the dollar, exposing Stake Cash as a clear vehicle for real money gambling. So again, you have these Stake Cash. But if you're doing a 1-to-1 ratio and you're going to give people real US dollars, and yeah, I mean, what's the difference? You calling this Stake Cash, it's still cash. Like, what the hell? Similar to the lawsuit filed in Missouri, the complaint in New Mexico also alleges Stake's free play marketing preys upon those with the gambling addiction and younger consumers. The complaint accuses Drake and Ross of promoting Stake.com as well as Stake.us via live stream under deeply fraudulent pretenses. Stake alleged supplies the two, which I've seen it before multiple times. Actually, when Stake came about and they were throwing the bag at all these streamers, and they in their contracts, it states, I don't know the exact amount of hours, but there is a fixed amount of hours that the streamer has to gamble on stream, because again, that's the main vehicle for Kick, right? So all these people that were getting Kick contract, that an alleged amount of hours that they had to gamble. And again, people are so impressionable these days, especially the kids, bro. They're so impressionable that they thought that some of these people like SQC and Drake and Aiden Ross were using their own money to gamble. I mean, I don't know why you thought that. No, they would never do that. They would never do that. So they're using house money, not their own money, to gamble, okay? So in case you didn't know, in case that was a surprise, in case that blew your mind, no, they're using house money, so not their own money. So therefore, they can keep just going and going and going, and they're not visibly getting upset, because guess what? Even if they lose money, if they crap out, they're not losing their own money. They're not losing their own money. They're just regurgitating the money, because again, if Stake is giving them the money, it's their money anyways. So you're not losing anything. You get it? Okay. So they said, well, it's not shared with the public. Of course, they're not going to share that with the public. Response to the lawsuit in Missouri, a spokesperson for Stake denied the allegations and vowed to vigorously defend this and all such claims. Expected Ross also rejected any wrongdoing, calling the claims fucking bullshit. A classic Aiden Ross, right? This man can't even give a simple PR statement without saying fucking bullshit. Oh man, so again, man, it's just not looking good, bro. It's not looking good for the boy. Not looking good for the boy. Blue Jays lost. He got cited in the lawsuit and being sued in another for gambling. Woo, boy, cannot make this stuff up. All right.